guys, it's Sue and I'm back with another Friday Reads video, the last Friday Reads of April. Continuing reading S by J.J. Abrams. I didn't read a whole bunch, I probably read about 30 more pages to it, but then I also backtracked and reread some pages to kind of help me understand a few things that I didn't quite understand or wasn't quite sure of with regards to some characters, and I wanted to update some notes. This is like doing a school project. It's kind of weird, but it's still enjoyable. So yeah, I'm currently on page 222, so I've read this much and have about the same amount to go. With regard to this book, like I said, you have your main story of the ship of Theseus and the characters within there, and then you have the story of Eric and Jen, the two people that are writing in the book. And they initially write, let's see if I can show you right here. Jen writes in this blue cursive, and Eric writes in this black, kind of just all, caps and stuff like that. And then as you're reading further on, you'll start to see this orange and green writing. So you'll see Jen's kind of writing in her cursive in orange, and there's Eric printing out in green. That takes place at a later point in the story, so it's like they've come back to the book and written more in it. And then even further on, you start to see this it's purple cursive and red print. So now Jen and Eric have come back a third time, like a third period somewhere even further back. And you really kind of realize that, at least particularly within this one little passage here I noticed. And it was just kind of really touching, because there's these male and female character within the actual story of Ship of Theseus. And they're in a kind of tough situation, and they're kind of like holding on to each other, and I'm right here, he says. I am too, she says. And then Eric and Jen have sort of written in the side here, I'm right here, I am too, she says. And then they've come back a third time, and he's written still, and she's written still. And I thought that was really, really touching, how they're still connected, there's still maybe some feelings for each other, we don't know. That hasn't really been kind of explored. I'm still waiting for Eric and Jen at this point to kind of actually physically meet in real life, other than within the pages of the book where they're just communicating that way to each other. So it's still really intriguing, it's still holding my interest, and I hope to just kind of keep plowing my way through it and to the inevitable conclusion, and I hope it's a good one. I'm also reading Unsold Still, the third book in the Unwind Dystology by Neil Shusterman. I haven't made a whole lot of progress. I'm only on page 182. Didn't get as much reading as I wanted to this weekend, and in fact, this entire week I've actually been on vacation, but just had a lot of other stuff to do that I didn't get to sit down as much as I wanted to. I did manage to read, actually listen to the audio of the colorless Sakura Tazaki and his Years of Pilgrimage by Haruki Murakami. So I made much more progress with this one. Currently on page 218. And this is such a really cool book, because you have the main character, Sakura Tazaki. He was friends with 4 other people, and their last names all kind of translate to a color. One red, one blue, one white, one black. His is colorless. He has no color within his name to translate, so he is this like clear image here. And if you lift this particular book up, Sakura is also very interested in train stations, and he ends up becoming like an architect, designing train stations and things like that. And here you have like a map of a train line and the different colors of the trains, and I thought it was a really, really clever book design. But the story's pretty interesting. It's a little slow, it's a little plodding, but it's about him and this group of friends, and then they were really, really tight-knit from like high school on up until 35 years old, where his friends just sort of drop him. They want nothing to do with him, they don't want him to call him anymore, or talk to him, and he doesn't at first ask why, he's just kind of shocked. And then many years later, he's kind of come back and kind of wants answers, and so I'm at this point where I've kind of gotten the answers to why they did it, but there's still questions around that. So it's really intriguing for that matter to see how that all plays out, you might say. So yeah, those are the books I am going to be reading for the rest of this weekend. I don't know how much more progress I'll make, but I'm going to keep trying. I do have some videos I have to do. I have to do my April wrap-up. I also have an April manga haul, but I didn't get a chance to film earlier, so I'm just going to kind of hopefully get that out. You might see me wearing the same thing in the next video. So I will see you guys later. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.